I never stop dancing to it. It's just, I think I'm going to dance to it forever. Honestly,
time.
it's going to be your first dance song at your wedding.
It won't be, but we can play it at the bachelorette party. I'm not engaged, nor do I have a boyfriend, if anyone's curious.
I've just been
an irrelevant topic.
I'm planning Spencer's future. You were wondering.
Me too. Anyway, welcome back. And it's a special welcome back because U Sports hit 1,000 subscribers yesterday.
Ew, I'm already going to cry about it. Guys, I know it's like so small in the grand scheme of things, but it's like our first like really big
like milestone.
Milestone. Yes. And we're so grateful. Like we're so grateful for all of like our friends and family and mutuals that like follow us here, but also just for like the random people that stumble upon us and give us a chance, because that's really what it takes. And we're super grateful.
Yes. So if you are new, I'm Spencer. This is Caitlin. We are doing NFL and NBA coverage for you all right now because they are both happening. So we will have this lovely NFL episode out for you today, talking about some big storylines that happened. And we will have a new midweek NBA catch up tomorrow. And then Caitlin will be with me in a couple days. And so
I'm so excited.
We will have, some other content for you this weekend, another NBA episode together. We are going to do our little sports 101 guide to basketball.
So true.
Because we already did our football one, and it's going to be really exciting. So if you have people that want to learn things or don't understand parts and you don't want to explain it to them, we're here. We got you. We are so here for you. I feel like there wasn't anything too exciting. Like game-wise, I just feel like there's a lot to talk about. Not about the game so much as there's a lot of stuff to talk about with some of these teams. But one of the best... Yeah, some players, some of the happenings, some of the upsets, I guess, due to some players. Some players are still losing. Aaron Rodgers. And some teams are still winning.
The Broncos.
Listen, I am wearing a Broncos shirt because, again, if you're new, I live in Denver. Caitlin is from Colorado. She's currently in Arizona. But I am a big hometown team girl. I also have a friend on the Broncos. So I have jumped. You can't say it's a bandwagon, okay? If it was the Kansas City Chiefs, I would have given it to you. But I live here and I love supporting the hometown team, okay?
So and you've been supporting them since they were bad. So it's not really a bandwagon.
And they're still only kind of decent. So, So I'm wearing my Broncos shirt today because out of my 3 teams that are playing right now, which is the Cowboys, the Nuggets, and the Broncos, somehow the Broncos are the best.
That's actually, that's weird.
I don't know how that happened. I don't live, laugh, love it all too much. I knew the Cowboys were going to cowboy, but I figured at least the Nuggets were not going to do this. But it's fine because we're talking about football and the Broncos are good, baby. And at least one team in Denver is doing okay.
That's about it. It's just one. Just one of 4.
The tears. I did cry last night. I sent a picture to Caitlin and all of Twitter.
She did. And you know what? It looked really sad.
I'm a sad girl.
So sad.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. But on to a very, this shouldn't be exciting for me because this is literally about the Washington Commanders. And I know as a Cowboys fan, I should not like them. But how can you not like Jayden Daniels?
I just don't think that it's I don't think that there's anyone that shouldn't like him. He's made himself so likable.
He's so likable. And I'm like, you know what? Forget offensive rookie of the year. I have him in MVP talks because he literally dragged this team out of the mud, literally the trenches.
I know.
They were, what was their record last year? It was something insane, right?
4-13.
4 and you just remember that right off the top of your head.
I did. I was looking at it a couple weeks ago and I just remember how bad it's just I remember it because it's so baffling because it's
so crazy.
They truly have completely turned around their season. And that's not their season, but just their
Their
name,
whole
I guess,
franchise.
Yes, their name and likeness. Like, last year you would have heard Commanders and you'd be like, oh, the worst team in the league. And this year you're like, that Jayden Daniels guy, that Commanders defense, that team, like they literally have completely turned it around. It's crazy.
There was an insane pass to come out with the win of this game. Okay, this was kind of like the battle of the rookie. The rookies, I feel like,
it was the number 1 and number 2 pick.
Yeah, they were on the focus this week.
Yep.
I feel like Bo Nix is getting a little snubbed, but anyway, especially after having his best game. But obviously, having Caleb Williams and Jayden Daniels was like a big, big topic, and it looked like the Bears were going to win. Honestly, I have seen many videos of fans cheering in the bars, and then this thing happened, and we're gonna watch it together because why not?
We're gonna react to it together. We're gonna so good.
React to it again if I can do this quicker.
And it's
All
going
right,
to
so
be
you see Jayden Daniels on the left.
getting longer by the second. You're all the way back at the 30-yard line.
He scrambled so
Now
well,
you can
breaking
step into
ankles.
it.
Oh well.
Here comes the Hail Mary
Launches
with the
it.
game on the line. And the ball is
Tipped in the freaking end zone. It's
It's
so
a miracle.
good.
Hot.
It's Noah Brown.
Tipped
Oh,
and
my
caught. I
goodness.
love their coach.
I know,
They're
they're so happy.
I want you all to notice because I think this was logged as a 52-yard catch, and I just want to show
It
you where
is,
the
yeah,
line
52.
of.
Yeah.
I want to show you because everyone's talking about how it was much longer. Okay. See, do you see? I'm like pointing like y'all can see my finger. The line of scrimmage is that blue line right there, besties. Do you see how far that is?
Honey, he was like an extra 10
70
yards behind.
I'm pretty sure that was a almost 70-yard throw.
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say if
goodness.
the line of scrimmage was at a 52, he was like 15 yards behind it. So
It was insane. And I wanted because we have, of course, a storyline to talk about due to a Bears guy. But I was talking to Caitlin right before we started recording because I was kind of looking it up, and I love like the duality of teams, okay? Like you have
Same.
teams that have already thought they've won, and then you have guys on the sideline for the Commanders that were not ready to bow down and they were not going to give up. And so I was doing some research, just kind of like trying to figure out what some of the teammates said about the play. And they said they practice this a few times a week, like they literally call it in those gotta have it situations. And like obviously they were talking about how if you don't practice it, it's not going to come to fruition. If you practice it, then you're ready for the moment.
Period.
And so one of their linebackers, Frankie Louvu, was just walking down telling all the guys like, pick your heads up, it's not over yet, which I love, like veterans that don't admit defeat, that are like, everyone stop whining, like the game is not over till it's over.
Yes, the game is not over until the clock hits 0. And I think that that's something so important because even if you're down like 3 points or whatever it may be, and you have 1 second left on the clock, you have a chance to make one play. You have one play. You've completed a play before. You've caught a pass before. Like in football,
you've practiced this, obviously.
Yes, in football, you have one play to make it happen. Like even if there's 1 second left on the clock, and it's not over until it's over. And this was like the perfect example of it.
Yeah, and if you want to admit defeat, that's fine, but that play isn't going to matter because you've already decided that the game is lost. But if you, like, I loved it. One of their other players said, we're a team full of fighters. We don't give up until the final whistle. And Caitlin and I talk about this a lot with NBA. It's all about effort. I think it separates good teams from great teams. And I think it separates good players from great players. So the Bears had sent 3 pass rushers with to the line of scrimmage, and then the rest of the 7 defenders into coverage. And
just all the way downfield in different
all the way
areas
downfield. So if you didn't notice, there was a big clump of people. I did want to say how cool it was because they basically had practiced that tip. They they had practiced this before where they, they basically had like a bunch of receivers down there, and then they had a guy behind, and then they practiced the tip. And so it's
smart,
funny
though. That's exactly how it should be.
One of the players thought that it was the guy that usually does it in practice, does the tip that got it. But in reality, it was Tyreek Stevenson. If you don't know, Tyreek Stevenson is the one that actually caused the deflection to go into Noah Brown's hand.
And not to mention, he was also the one that was celebrating. Let's pull it up,
watch?
Spencer.
Yeah,
because he was celebrating a win before there was a win.
Yeah, he said, "Who cares when the clock is 0? Because we've already won the game." So there's Tyreek,
and there's him tipping it.
All the way over to the side because he had not realized that the play had already started because he was too busy saying "gotcha" to.
He literally was like
waving,
celebrating on the sideline, and
fans pointing like the
being
play.
Like, there's a play.
The play. And of course he runs over and he's late and gets his hand in there and boop, tips it right into
okay.
the
And like, am I remembering this correctly? Didn't they literally even say, like, didn't he get a flag called on him anyway for being like an illegal player downfield?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like after like the play, there was like a flag called and it was like an illegal player downfield because he was there before the play had even started.
Because
he was literally just like mocking Commanders fans and celebrating a win. Yes. And so then you hear people like before the play, you hear like fans, because there were Bears fans down there and they were yelling at him like, turn around, there's a play going on. And he turns around and he looks and he's like, oh shit. And he sprints over to the side. And because I feel like it had to have just been like because his head was not in the game. Like obviously.
He thought it was over. That's why.
Yes. And so he runs in, tips the ball straight back to Noah Brown, and Noah Brown catches it. But it was just incredible. I'm not even joking, I jumped on my coffee table and started screaming, and I put my hand up in my ceiling fan that was on.
Is your hand okay?
It's great. It was my crippled hand, so really, it doesn't matter anyway. It would have just added a little extra damage. Yeah, whatever.
What's a couple new blood vessels popped? I don't know.
Who cares? Yeah, not me. But like, okay. And on this too, I just want to shout out both the O-line and the D-line. I want to shout out the offensive line for the Commanders and the defensive line for the Bears, because they were putting in work for their respective teams. Yes, if you watch the playback, like you can see Bears guys like sprinting either way, like pushing against Commanders O-line and just like trying so hard to get to him. And at one point, like a couple of Bears defenders like had gotten away from the O-line and almost got Jayden Daniels. And then Jayden Daniels juked him while he was scrambling and he slipped and ate shit. And then
the O-line,
it was so good.
The O-line said that at that point, you basically were trying to get your hands on anyone in a different jersey. Like anyone I can get my hands on to make this happen. They gave him a great amount of time. And for a rookie to throw that pass, and even Caleb Williams said he thought it was going to be short. So Tyreek went on Twitter and said, to Chicago and teammates, my apologies for lack of awareness and focus. The game ain't over until zeros hit the clock. Can't take anything for granted. Notes taken. Improvement will happen. #bear down.
And you know what? Good for him for recognizing that, because that is going to be the worst day of his career. And I can almost guarantee that he will never live that down.
Oh, his coach, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, he will never live that down.
Especially because I'm sure maybe at first the coach might not have even seen what he was doing. So totally. I can't imagine what happened after they realized why he was yeah. Speaking of players that should also be getting belt to ass on this fine, it's Tuesday. They have Tuesdays off. So yesterday, Anthony Richardson. Anthony. I'm talking Anthony Richardson. I'm talking to you right now. Next time the media asks you a question, lie. I literally don't care. I know you're not supposed to lie.
Please.
Please lie. I am begging you to lie. Do you want to tell them what happened, Caitlin?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you don't know, at one point in the game, Anthony Richardson essentially subbed himself out. He ran off the field and
he tapped his helmet.
Yeah,
he said, I'm out.
He literally tapped himself out. And so after the game, the reporters and everything were obviously like, hey, like you tapped yourself out in the middle of the game. Like, can you walk us through that? Like, yeah, what happened? Did you get hurt? Why did you have to do that? Like, and he was like, I'm going to be honest. I was just tired. What? Sir?
Come on.
What do you mean you're tired?
I didn't hear you. What?
You were asleep? What do
You needed a little snooze-a-roos? Did you
Just
stay
a
up too late?
quick little shut-eye on the sideline? Honey, he said, get me in the injury tent, lay me down on that table for a few, please.
I have never heard these words nor seen this happened in the entire time I have been watching the NFL, which is a very long time. Not to mention, it's not even like he was having a good game.
I was just about to say that. I literally have his stats because they were awful. I'm like, you are not helping yourself here, babe.
Did you hear the record he broke? So he was 10 of 32 passes, which is the worst accuracy for a quarterback throwing at least 30 passes since 2011. 2011.
Do you want to hear another really fun stat? You want to hear another really fun one?
I sure do.
Without any pass action, like without any pass rushers coming at him. So essentially just like when he had time in the pocket and didn't have any action happening, he was 5 for 20. 5 for 20. Like on just like open looks. I'm like, what? 71 yards, 5 for 20 with an interception. And mind you, the interception was in a very crucial part of the game. It was like
for a go-ahead touchdown.
It was a literal game-ending like turnover, essentially.
And I like you left during that performance because you needed some shut-eye?
Get Joey in. Somebody get Joey Flacco.
I can't believe that. So one of the former, I don't know if this was a Colts, but a former offensive lineman literally said, we don't get breaks. We're blocking for you every single play to protect you. And you're going to sit there and tap your head and ask out of the game. He said, I literally can't even wrap my mind around that you're asking out of the game. You must be grossly out of shape or something else must be going on. And a former Colts QB, Dan Orlovsky, said, when it comes to physical exertion, no one's job is easier on game day than the quarterback's. I can't fathom Anthony saying this. I'm appalled because that's the face of your franchise, is saying he's too tired in the third quarter after just escaping a sack.
Yeah, and not to mention, he's literally got the most turnovers in the league for quarterbacks right now. So like, honey, you've got stuff to prove, babes.
I just can't. And even if it was like, please next time say like your hamstring hurt. You said, I don't know, my head feels a little funny.
Ankles. Yeah.
My hip flex, my hip is out of the socket. Literally anything, like anything. I'm begging.
And let's just talk about how Mr. Anthony Richardson is going to need a few extra naps this week because they play the Vikings on Sunday. Okay, I promise you the Vikings are going to be a little, right? Period. I'm just saying, I think the Vikings are going to be a little tougher. I would. Like, that's what I'm saying. Put Joey in.
What kind of message does that send to your team?
Oh, literally.
Like, oh, hey, QB1, like, he's not feeling this play. But, like, y'all still have to stay there, okay?
He's a little tired. I know you guys have been blocking for him and running 20 yards downfield, 20 yards back because he can't complete a pass. 20 yards downfield, 20 yards back, 20 yards downfield, 20 yards back. But he's sitting in the pocket, like scrambling a little bit.
He did a lot of running that last play.
It's a lot.
I was like, could you imagine if a running back was like, hey, I just did a 20-yard rush. Okay, I need a breather.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you literally have receivers that are running routes, and if you're not completing passes, they're running their route and then running back to the line of scrimmage every single time. These guys are constantly running routes for you, and you cannot complete passes. Like, you're tired?
That was a statement.
Yeah.
That
and like I said,
was
you
a
better get
statement.
untired, bestie, because if you are playing next week, you play the Vikings, and the Vikings have some decent pass rushers. So take a nap.
Get some shut-eye.
Yeah.
Go and
because that
maybe you need some hibernation. I don't know.
absolutely insane. I cannot even.
I can't fathom saying that. Like literally
No.
on like live. You said like you literally said that.
Yep.
Anthony. Like
Came out of your mouth.
that. Wow. That was a statement.
He did say
some
something.
words. He did say something. I would have loved to be at practice yesterday. Would have loved
I
it.
would have loved to have been at so many of these
I
practices
just want to be.
yesterday.
I just want to be a fly on the wall for
Me too.
all these idiots. Like, did the coach call him to sit him down?
Oh, literally had to have.
Like, hey,
Had
bestie,
to have.
that
Like
was
Tyreek
possibly the
and
worst thing you
him.
could have ever said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Horrible.
I love how
horrible.
all of the reporters too were like, "Oh,
Oh. Okay.
He's
yeah.
like-
No. And the worst part was that he said it with a smile on his face and he was giggling.
He said, "I'm Honest Abe over here. Yeah, won't catch a lie out of me."
Honest Abe over here.
Honest Ant. He said, "You know, I'm gonna be straight up with you. Too much running in this game. I'd like to know what your contract is for. I think conditioning is probably part of the job."
I'm so dead.
I can't.
It's not week one. Technically, this is week 9. No,
Yeah,
week
this is
8.
like-
It was week 8 because
But
I forgot
we're
some people
about
have
to
already
be
had buys.
mid-season form. We should be.
We are mid-season. Like, this is not week 1. You should be so conditioned.
Anthony, I have no words.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
Let's move on to quarterbacks that are doing us proud. Okay, let's talk about Bo Baby
Bo Nix.
because he's getting snubbed. No one's talking about Bo, or maybe they are, but not enough. Because I know he's not throwing Hail Mary passes.
What I
Yes.
saw is that people say that no one's talking about Bo because of our competition, which, like, I understand. Okay, like, I get that.
Like in the
All right.
conference.
Yeah, just like
Or in the
just like
division.
who we've played, like we
Yeah.
played the Panthers, and so his 3 touchdowns and his 1 rushing touchdown isn't enough to talk about because
After
it was
we've had
against
a
the
very-
Panthers.
Slow, like this was his best game.
Yeah. Which, mind you, like, what I love, because, like, I think, like, a lot of people are forgetting this, is that people have been so critical of him since the very beginning. Because, again,
Yeah.
he was is a rookie quarterback that people around the league just expected to come in and just, like, suddenly make the Broncos a Super Bowl franchise again. Like, it's not even a thing. And, like, but, like, they expected it, but then they said that we were going to be the worst team in the league because he's
Yeah.
so bad. And, like, you just have people that have been putting so much pressure on this kid. And did he have a rocky start? Sure, absolutely. But, like, he has, if you
So
look
did
at, like,
Caleb
his
Williams.
stats, exactly. If you look at his stats and if you look at just literally everything else, like, if you just even do the eye test, he has grown so much just in like the last 8 weeks.
He
He's
was
a
throwing
totally different quarterback.
Darts.
Darts, dimes, all of it.
Darts.
He was perfect passes. And I just shout out to our offense who caught the passes this week. There were not a ton of dropped, like, direct passes this week. I'm hype about that. Besides,
there were 2 bad ones.
I was going to say there were a couple bad ones, but not as many as there have been in recent
Yes,
weeks, which I am grateful
100%.
for. I think a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that they use so many tight ends and not necessarily
Yeah.
all of our receivers today. But
I
Sunday.
love when everyone on the field gets involved. Like I feel this way about any sport. There's nothing fun about watching a team where only one guy handles the ball, like in anything. Like
Period.
So when you get everybody involved, it just makes the game look so
Everybody
much more
eats.
fun. Everybody's eating. We had receivers, tight ends, running backs. Like everyone was doing well. The ball was dispersed, just to so many positions. And then of course, National Tight End Day, we had 2 touchdowns from 2 tight ends, Nate Adkins and Adam Troutman, and both threw for 284 yards.
Yep. 3 passing
Hello?
touchdowns. And he
Hello?
had, I have this here. Hold on. He Where are you, Bo baby? He was 28 for 37, which is 75.6% pass completion.
Awesome percentage.
With 3 passing touchdowns. It's beautiful. And with Nate Adkins, I loved it because like they were getting all of our tight ends involved, which was Nate Adkins, Lucas Kroll, and Adam Troutman. And while Lucas Kroll did not have a touchdown himself, he did have a fantastic game with several receptions, and I think it was like 70 or 80 yards.
They just brought him up, I believe, last week they did.
Yep, they did. And Nate Adkins, he only had 1 reception. Like I said, I just love that they got him involved because he had 1 single reception for 3 yards, and it was a touchdown for him. So that's just that's really cool. And then Adam Troutman had a fantastic game, not to mention he had the coolest catch in the back of the end zone ever. It was literally like a one-handed diving catch, and he was like running and catching it in the back of the end zone.
One-hand catch.
Oh, it was so good. And like I said, I just feel like we had Greg Dulcich at the beginning of the season as like the only tight end that we were really using, and he had several dropped passes, and it was like his yards after catch were like 1 or 2. Like we just weren't getting anywhere with him, so we stopped using him and other tight ends. Yeah. And so to see 3 of our tight ends get involved and just have such big games for our offense, it was awesome.
And Courtland Sutton. It's so hard to say his name.
I know. I always add extra letters.
Yes. Courtland Sutton actually had a good game. He hasn't had the best games in the past few weeks, that's for sure. He's had
a rough
passes,
start to the season.
8 passes for 100 yards, which was his first 100-yard game since week 2 of the 2022 season.
Wow.
So I'm sure that's like a major confidence boost. He did pretty good. He did miss. Him and Troy Franklin both dropped dimes. Okay. Right through the hands. Okay. I hate this. What is this? Why are we trying to catch a ball? Like the ball is not this big.
Listen, my 3-year-old knows to bring her hands. She's almost 3. She knows to put her hands in, okay?
This is how I feel when you see like a rookie, like, and they're holding the ball out while running with it. I'm like, yeah. Fred Warner, like, pray to God you're not playing the 49ers when you're doing that. Fred Warner's all over that, buddy. Like, he's getting a hand in there. Like, that ball is getting poked out. Like, I am all about protecting the damn football. So,
and that was just like Courtland Sutton did have a play just like that where he got the ball knocked out right in the end zone. It was literally on the 1-yard line where we had a fumble. And that one was really frustrating. And it was just kind of funny to me, too, because they were just talking about on the broadcast how apparently the Broncos had the receivers holding balls all week. And like they just had to walk around with the football in their arms all week to like practice holding onto the ball.
For you guys.
I know. But just like, it was like their challenge just to like make sure that they were holding the ball high and tight all week.
Clearly it didn't work because
I know, that's what I'm saying.
They lost 2
like,
fumbles, which both led to Panthers touchdowns.
Yes, I know. There are only 2.
There are only 2, and it was like a bookend, like their 9 consecutive drives without scoring. It was like the first drive and then the last drive.
In the last drive, yeah, exactly.
So maybe you should be at home carrying that. Like, do y'all not have children? Carry your baby around. Like, God damn it.
I'm so dead. No, literally. And it was just like, it was so frustrating too watching it because like Courtland Sutton had, like he was holding onto it so tight. And then and I hate when they do this, you like almost like loosen the reins a little bit once you get right by the end zone because you just like, you assume
you're like,
that you're going to get the touchdown. Yes. And so he literally, you see his arm with the football. He still had the football like within his hand and his arm right here, but it just wasn't high and tight. It wasn't protected.
Yeah.
And he like, you see him loosening it a little bit right by the end zone. And then literally on the 1-yard line, defender punched it out or poked it out. And it was a fumble. So again, on the 1-yard line, it was so frustrating, but I'm trying not to be nitpicky. The Broncos had such a great game. Baby. Yep. And did we talk about the guy on the Panthers that was mad at Sean Payton?
I was waiting to bring it up. Go ahead, tell him.
So there's a player on the Panthers, J.C. Horn, who literally went up to Sean Payton after the game.
Yelling.
And was yelling at him, saying that he was running up the score.
He said, you tried to run the score up.
Sir.
It was
first of all,
2 touchdown win.
Yes. And like, okay, this is like my thought too, is like, so first of all, you're saying that we were trying to run the score up, We had 28 points. It could have been 35 if Cortland Sutton wouldn't have dropped that in the end zone. I get that. But first of all, you're so lucky you're not playing the Lions. They would have started doing trick plays on your ass in the second quarter.
They would have made you want to retire. Actually, they probably would have made you retire.
Yes,
like you're going to tell us that we tried to run the score up when we won by 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
And the Lions over here beat the Titans. It was like 53-11 or 10 or something.
52-14. Yeah.
Close enough.
Yes. Same thing. Same score.
Like, you're so welcome. And like on the final drives, like, didn't they like not even go for it or something? I don't know. There was something towards the end where we like could have tried to score again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that, and let's like not
weird
talk about
behavior.
The fact that, yes. And let's talk about the fact that there was like a minute and a half left in the game and they were down 28-7. And then they went and scored. So I'm like, who's trying to run up the score? Yes, like who's trying to run up the score? Like that's part of the game. That is football. Like your job in football is literally to get down the field. Like what did you want them to do? Drop passes on purpose?
Also, like maybe if you had done your job better, they wouldn't have scored at all.
Defend.
Like,
try that.
I don't know. Try doing your job.
Just, like,
why don't you worry about your job before you are worrying about ours? Okay.
Literally.
Mind your business.
And like I said, I find it so insane. Like I know it's frustrating. I can only imagine being on the Panthers.
But you're going to yell at the head coach
every week.
Our head coach.
Again, like we won by 2 touchdowns. If it was the Lions, the Ravens, the Commanders, you would have literally had 45 dropped on your ass. I'm sorry, but like
yes. So easily.
Yes. And like I said, the Lions would have started doing trick plays. Like not only would they have run the score up gladly,
they would have subbed a lineman in for Jared Goff for fun.
Amon-Ra St. Brown would be throwing touchdowns to their center.
He would be QB1.
Yeah.
Easily.
Literally. And like let's also like we don't have to be butthurt about it. Let's also not mention the fact that the Dolphins literally beat the Broncos 70-10 last year.
You didn't see us crying. I mean, I was, but you didn't see them crying.
No, I did physically cry, but I did not yell at Mike McDaniel. Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, that
either
was
way,
weird. Weird behavior.
That's a choice. That was a choice.
Speaking of, let's talk about the Lions because they
oh my god
are winning the Super Bowl. I'm calling it now. I've decided.
Straight up.
I know that none of my teams are winning the Super Bowl, so I don't feel bad saying this. I believe that no one can beat the Lions offense. I am so impressed with this team. I think that
I have full body goosebumps while you're talking about it. They're insane.
They have won their past 4 games by an average of 23 points. Mind you, the Minnesota game, they only won by 2 points. And that still their average is 23. And they obviously embarrassed the Cowboys. I mean, that's not hard to do. Okay. And the Seahawks. And then now the Titans. Literally talking about them dropping 50 on your ass, even with Amon-Ra as QB. Jared Goff only attempted 15 passes.
That's what I was literally just about to say. This man was 12 for 15 and passed for 85 yards, and they still scored 52 points.
That's absurd.
And like, I do just want to say, a lot of that is thanks to special teams. Their special teams went crazy. They had Khalif Raymond, who ran back a punt return for a touchdown. And mind you, he was a fast MFer. That guy was... He was sprinting, and I've never seen a faster guy. I don't know how tall he is. I'm literally going to look this up because he looked so short. And his little feet were just going so fast.
What's his name? Khalif Raymond?
Khalif Raymond. Khalif Raymond.
5'8". He's a shorty.
Thank you. Yes, so he's a shorter guy, and he looked so fast. And that was actually his second monster return of the day. He did not get a touchdown on the first one, but he had another like 64-yard kickoff return earlier in the game. So he just 2 amazing plays just by Khalif Raymond alone on their special teams. Obviously, you have to have fantastic blockers as well who are, going downfield and blocking for him to be able to do that. but he was fast and he was agile and he was weaving through players, breaking tackles, and it was amazing. And the Lions had 7 different touchdowns in this game.
As I said, because I predicted the Lions to beat the Vikings. And the reason I had said that, because their offense is just, you never know what can happen because they have so many weapons. I think this is like the deepest offensive team I've seen in a very long time. They get everyone involved. Like they just do so many things differently all the time. Like you can't plan against this team because their offensive coordinator is like Einstein. I don't know. He is the Einstein of offensive coordinating. I don't know. He's doing the damn thing, and he is so impressive.
Yes,
I wish so bad they were playing the Chiefs. I'm sure they will get their chance.
It's going to be the Super Bowl. That's what it's going to be.
I kept thinking it was going to be. My prediction was last week was Ravens and Lions in the Super Bowl. Ravens got beat. Which we'll talk about. But to wrap up, the Lions look absolutely incredible. I literally don't know who's beating them. Actually, let's look at their schedule. They haven't had a bye week. I don't either. They play the Packers this week. This will be a good game because, Jordan Love has been doing great. I don't see the Texans beating the Lions. Then they play the Jags. Then they play the Colts. Then the Bears again. And then the Packers again. So they've already beat the Bears once. Or no, sorry. We just watched the Commanders beat the Bears. Sorry. But the Bears already got beat. I don't see Caleb Williams taking over them. The Jaguars, definitely not. Colts, definitely not.
I truly do not see any team besides
beating
the
them
Vikings.
Until the end.
Exactly. I would say that it'll be the Vikings and the Lions in the NFC Championship. And
yes,
I think, and I even said this, I think
100%.
Yeah, and I even think I said this either last week or 2 weeks ago that it's going to be the Chiefs and the Lions in the Super Bowl.
I have Chiefs, Ravens in the AFC Championship, and Vikings, Lions in the NFC Championship.
That would be my exact prediction.
I'm honestly very kind of solid in that. I mean, unless something crazy happens, especially because the Lions still don't have Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah, they're there, and then we'll just get this chat over with, okay? Let's talk about my Cowboys only because
she said they're there.
Let's get this over with, okay? The Cowboys
I'm so sorry. They're so bad.
So bad. Jerry Jones, you will pay for what you have done to my team.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Literally, my title is so bad. They are so bad. Prescott threw 2 interceptions for a 3rd straight game, which is the first Cowboys quarterback to do that in 32 years. Okay.
And you're supposed to be Dak Prescott. You just got paid, MFer. What is happening?
It's a problem. And it's such a problem because he doesn't have anyone on offense to throw to besides CD Lamb.
Yeah.
There's no running game. Obviously, we had Rico Dowdle out, and then fucking Zeke ran 34 yards against the 49ers. 3-4. What the fuck?
I was looking for where their run game went. I don't.
You're going to be looking for a while. You want to call me back sometime next year?
Yeah, I will. Oh, and you know what? I do just want to say, I get it. Cowboys have been riddled with injuries since the very beginning.
We need our defense.
I know.
And
so
Micah Parsons back.
This is what I was just about to say. So Micah Parsons, Brandon Cooks, Marshawn Nealand, and DeMarcus Lawrence are all set to come back within the next month. But these are their next 4 games.
Oh, damn. We know.
The Falcons, the Eagles, the Texans, and the Commanders. That's their next 4 games without those 4 guys. And so I just will it even matter when they come back? Are they going to be able to crawl out of the deficit that they've... Oh, you look so far down there. You're just so sad. A lot of sports teams have been making Spencer cry lately, and I'm really not okay with it.
I don't... Siri said it's not a problem, but it is a fucking problem, Siri, because I'm sick of this. Do you know?
Siri, it is.
Actually, Siri, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bitch. Anyway. I can't take it anymore. Listen, if you've watched before, you know, I used to cry all the time every day. So like me crying wouldn't be a big deal,
valid.
but I am on antidepressants and I cry like once every 4 months until now. And
until sports teams started ruining her days, like so excessively. Yeah,
if Nuggets wouldn't have pulled out their 2-point win against the injured fucking
Raptors.
Portland Raptors, those people,
Toronto.
fucking Canadians, stupid Canadians. Yeah. Even though I bet no one on the team is actually Canadian. Anyway, if we wouldn't have won that game, you would have never heard from me again, probably.
RJ Barrett is Canadian. He played for the Canada team for the Olympics.
So anyway.
Boo him.
Boo him. Anyway,
Yeah,
moving
so
on.
either way, Cowboys are screwed. I'm sorry.
Oh, I get it. You know who I guess could turn things around, which kind of sucks because I still hate their franchise and their fan base, even though they got rid of the worst human being ever. Jameis Winston gets a Browns W against the Ravens.
Absolutely insane.
I just want to say before we talk about like Jameis Winston and how he did well, how do I say this nicer? Is there something wrong with Jameis Winston? Like I don't know how to make this sound
Is he
better.
all there?
I don't think so. Because if you look at any of his speeches, I'm like, what's happening?
I don't think he knows, actually.
He gives the most insane speeches, and I'm like convinced that he's like in a movie in his head. Like, I don't know. Did he get hit a lot when he first started? Because it looks like a CTE.
I'm so it's like if Antonio Brown was still in the league.
Like,
and,
do you like when you hear him? He's like, today's the day, the you know, and then he like literally like quoted Eminem when they won.
Stop.
I was like, are we okay, bestie?
Someone get him a trophy. Get him an Oscar.
I'm scared. But I told you, I literally said this though. I was like, if we get Jameis Winston, the media is at least going to be entertaining, and it sure is.
That is so true. It has been fun.
I don't remember him being this crazy,
wild.
and maybe it's just been so long since like I've been. Yeah, he's wild.
Well, it's been a long time since like he's really been like deep in the media and stuff like that too. But like I just want to say that like under Jameis Winston, and I don't know if like I talk about this a lot. It's like I feel like when you play sports, there's a lot of mindset stuff that goes into it. Psychology is very important in sports, and so like I feel like playing under Jameis Winston, like they all just looked like a different offense. Like their offense ran totally differently. Everyone looked locked in. They were like, people were running their routes better. Guys were blocking better. You're going to want to cut this out. I want to see how many sacks he got.
I was gonna, while you're looking that up, I was gonna let the class know that another big part of that I think that helped was that their offensive coordinator took over play calling.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
And then obviously, like Jameis Winston is just better. He has a better arm and more accurate than Deshaun was. You know, 27 of 41, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a damn good game, baby.
That's a damn good game.
Especially
and he was
for
only
your
sacked
first
twice.
Wow. Yeah, he was real strong in the pocket. I could not believe that they won that game. I don't know what the Ravens were doing this game. They ran 62 plays and they only handed the ball to Derrick Henry 11 times.
Yeah. It was a really
It was weird.
I don't know if they like think that they were trying to like game plan against this Browns team, and then the Browns team just ended up being like different.
Better than
but like
I guess you couldn't game plan because Jameis hasn't played this year.
Yeah, but like it's still
weird.
Yeah, super weird. The whole game, I feel like just watching the whole game, it was all weird.
Yeah, he averaged on his first 10 rushes 7.1 yards. So why would you not
continue that?
Keep doing that. It was weird. It reminds me of the AFC Championship game last year when they randomly just stopped the running game.
Stopped being good?
Well, they stopped the run game in the second half for no reason.
Yeah.
And
Which,
it's like
is
that, it didn't work
random.
then. So why do we think it? Maybe I'm like, I know people, well, no one said they hate it, but I compare a lot of things to basketball. The Nuggets have this thing where they are not a team that is always going to blow out a shitty team. And so it almost reminds me if maybe the Ravens came in like a little lackadaisical, like, oh, it's the Browns. They suck. We don't have to do much. They haven't been playing well. And then they didn't kind of figure that out until too late. I don't know.
You're almost like playing down to your competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I
said,
they lost.
The whole game was weird. Yeah, and you know, like their third down percentage, they were 2 for 10. That's not Lamar Jackson.
That's not Derrick Henry.
Not the Ravens. Yeah, that's not them. And like the Browns were 8 for 15, and it's like it's just different. I mean, obviously, Ravens had 24 and the Browns had 29. I think they ended the game with just like a last drive touchdown. And it's just, you know, like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like the Ravens scored 3 out of 4 times that they were in the red zone. And the Browns scored 0 out of the 2 times that they were in the red zone. And so, like I said, like the whole game was just so weird. I feel like none of it made sense. No one on the Ravens was playing like the Ravens have been playing. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure they probably felt like the Bears where they thought they had like narrowly escaped it, but then obviously Jameis threw it was a 38-yard touchdown for with 59 seconds to go. So I guess they were just screwed in that point. I don't know. It was really
you want to know some interesting stats about the Ravens, just because I'm really high on the Ravens and I really like the Ravens, and I know that you are too. Yep. But it's just, these are some interesting stats that like stuff that you wouldn't really think about. But the Ravens secondary leads the league in completed passes allowed over 25 yards. And so with that touchdown pass that Jameis Winston threw in the end, that was their 21st allowed in the last 2 years. Their 21st completed pass allowed on another team. So their deep ball defense, like man-to-man coverage and things like that, awful. They are literally leading the league in the past several years with that. And they also have the most points allowed in the fourth quarter since 2022 as well. They have 84 points allowed in the fourth quarter. And so my big thing with the Ravens is that you're a fantastic team. You have been for a couple of years. You're amazing in those first 3 quarters. How do you extend that to the fourth quarter? How does your defense continue to be consistent in that fourth quarter? How do you cover those long passes better? Do you do man-to-man? Do you decide to do a zone, super far back when you're when you're expecting passes over 25 yards? Because that should not be happening when you are one of the best teams in the league. You cannot let those things happen, and you cannot let teams beat you in the last minutes of the game. It's like the last 2 minutes of the game too. Is when they literally allow all these touchdowns, which is crazy to me. I'm like, you're losing games in the last 2 minutes more than anyone else in the league, and you're one of the best teams. Like, you can't be giving up games.
No.
So like I said, it's just I think something big that they need to, if they want to like really be contenders and give themselves a chance to, get to the Super Bowl or even the AFC Championship, they really need to figure out how to extend that through the entire fourth quarter and the entire
Crack down.
game. Yeah, you got to figure that out because you'll lose right there.
You got to figure that out. Sure do.
Yeah. So that's all I had for them. I just thought it was a really weird game, but congratulations to Jameis Winston. Like I said it was probably reverse karma for the Browns. They had a good big win after everything else. We going with Jets first?
Yeah, you want to hear my my like little bold thing for the Jets?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Jets lose to Patriots. They are losers, and Aaron Rodgers is so annoying. And I'm
so dead. I just put Jets are
Aaron
big
Rodgers
time losers.
Is so annoying to me. Yeah. So annoying. And let's talk about how big of losers they are. Because the Jets obviously have hit rock bottom. Like they're there.
Talking not you and I necessarily, but like we as like NFL fans, we're literally talking about how like this is going to be the Jets' giant year. They have Super Bowl hopes like before the season because Aaron Rodgers is back and they're incredible. They are 2-6, babes.
Maybe he just needs one more friend. Just one, maybe one more.
Just another one.
Maybe
on the
maybe
staff or on the field.
Maybe he can play all the positions because he knows best.
I think he does. I think he does.
The Jets literally lost in a way that no NFL team has ever lost before. Are you ready for
Really?
this?
I don't think I knew that. Go ahead.
They literally broke a 750 game winning streak by NFL teams. During the game, the Jets scored more than 20 points. They did not turn the ball over once. They held their opponent to under 250 yards. The Patriots finished with 247. And over the course of NFL history, teams that have done those three things were 750-0 going into week 8. But they...
Stop.
Congratulations on being ass boys.
Well, okay. And like, that's what's so crazy about it too, because I also like, first of all, we've all been talking about how like the Jets defense is not something that like they have to worry about. It's everything else. Apparently not, because like, that's what's crazy is like, so Drake May went down with a concussion, which is super sad, just in like the last couple minutes of the game. And Jacoby Brissett came in and led them to a 12-play, 70-yard touchdown drive to win them the game in like the last 59 seconds of a game.
Ouch.
Yeah. So first of all, shout out to Jacoby Brissett for coming in after being benched and being able to kind of get them that win. And like, let's just talk about the fact that like the Patriots were having a pretty tough game. Like Drake May was having a really good game himself, but like so many of his targets could not catch the ball that went right to their hands. So I put this game has so many Butterfinger stats. So many of the guys were dropping balls.
So many Butterfingers.
And so it like the stats don't really tell the whole story of this game, but the fact that Jacoby Brissett came in and was able to literally get them a 70-yard drive to a touchdown on this Jets defense to win the game.
Jacoby.
Yeah, and major unslay Jets defense.
And offense. They literally used 3 timeouts in the first quarter because they couldn't line up on time.
Yes, I was literally just about to say that because literally the play clock was running out. I'm like, how? Like, you're Aaron Rodgers. You are supposed to the cadence. Figure it out then, Aaron Rodgers. You're the one calling plays, or technically, you're probably the one calling plays. We all know that you're the GM for the Jets, so maybe figure it out. But the Jets kicker also leads the league with 6 field goal misses. And so I just feel like this Jets team, I know.
You have one job.
I know. I just feel like the Jets team is like falling apart from all ends. Like if your kicker's leading the leagues in missed kicks.
Well, and they demoted Nathaniel Hackett, and they had Todd Downing calling the plays.
Yep.
They don't know what I feel like they just don't know what they're doing.
They don't and that's what I was going to say too, is that
no plan.
Right now they're on a 5 game.
They have concepts of a plan.
Concepts of a plan.
I have
an idea and a plan. That is a plan of an idea and concepts of a plan.
I have one somewhere deep in there.
I just sounded like every presidential candidate for the last decade. I think I have an idea.
I have an
That's
idea.
about it.
Just hasn't come to fruition yet, but it's
just
there.
haven't done anything else with it. But I have an idea.
I have one.
Yeah, it's
I don't
so
know
bad.
What to do
Jets
for the
look
Jets.
bad. I don't either. And like
Aaron Rodgers looks old. Poor Devontae Adams went from one losing team to another losing team.
I mean, and like that's like the worst part about
That's
it
what
is
you
like,
get.
like you thought that you were coming in to like go win some games with Aaron Rodgers with your old buddy, and it's like you guys have done literally nothing. They're literally. This is the funniest part too. I mean, it's not funny because like that's kind of sad. I hate that for them.
Thank you for absolutely nothing.
Literally, but like so they were 2-3 under Robert Saleh. Okay, 2-3, and now they're 0-3 with their interim head coach after firing that coach.
I hope
so,
he's sitting on the couch, tossing
just giggling.
up popcorn.
Yeah,
literally like tossing up popcorn. You know, getting his paychecks. You know, sent right to his house. Love that for him.
Yeah, I just and it's not like, like Garrett Wilson had a great game. He had over 100 yards. Conklin, their tight end, had a touchdown. He's another one of the tight ends that had a touchdown. Breece Hall had a decent game. Devontae Adams did have 54 yards and 4 receptions. So it's like guys were getting involved, but like they literally couldn't do anything. And again, like if you're the Jets defense, 59 seconds of defense, guys, come on.
Bless you. All right, guys. So we know. I'm fine. Are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Your face.
Are you?
I'm so sorry.
You sure? Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyway,
had a tickle.
Little tickle. Before we go, we have 2 matters of business, okay? Because the Kansas Chiefs are still winning. And so we are going to take a look at their schedule and see if they can maybe not win one.
If they could, that'd be so great because I'm so tired.
And then we have a fun little present that we bought to ask questions.
Just for funsies because we love life. Fun. But so the Chiefs are still undefeated. They're 7-0, right? Ew, hate that. Yeah, right. Disgusting. But let's talk about the fact that their next 3 games, and I'm putting the Broncos in here because the Broncos are 5-3. Okay, so they're a decent
and we beat
team.
them last year.
Period.
We did that.
Period. And so their next 3 games, the Chiefs' next 3 games, are the Buccaneers, the Broncos, and the Bills. These babies are coming for the Chiefs, okay?
I don't think the Bucs are going to do anything. We beat them, and then they lost again this past week. But
to the Falcons, yeah.
I cannot wait for the Broncos and the Bills game because the Bills are back to looking like we thought they were going to, and the Broncos are looking better than anyone in their wildest dreams could have imagined. So.
Yeah, and Josh Allen is having the best season of his career. And
is he still no interceptions?
I'm going to look. I was just about to say, let me take a peek.
Because remember, I was like, now's the week because you said it's never going to happen.
He threw his first interception this week. Yeah.
You finally jinxed him.
I finally jinxed him. I'm sorry. I've been complimenting him for weeks.
Apologize to that man.
Josh Allen, I love you. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to jinx you. I tried to jinx you like 3 weeks ago, but you're really good and you put it off for another 3 weeks. Okay. So I tried. But either way, he still had a great game. Josh Allen is still towards the top of the MVP race. He's having probably the best season of his career. And Patrick Mahomes on the other end, while his team is doing fantastic, and this is his first 7-0 start
he's not
in his history, he's not having his best career season.
Thank God.
Which is great, but we do need someone to stop them as a team.
I'm sorry. I'm a hater.
Yeah. And I'm really hoping, I literally have November, I think it's November 11th or November 12th.
November 10th.
Let me see. Thank you. November 10th. I have November 10th circled on my calendar.
I was so
excited. It's funny that I got the date wrong and I was I circled it on the calendar, but I got the date wrong. It's November 10th.
I was so excited because at first I thought we were going to be together, but we're together the week after. So if we don't get it done, we will be together for the Bills and Chiefs game.
Ooh, love that. Well, either way, I still hope the Broncos are going to
we will be hate watching the Chiefs fans. We have a few of you. Listen, it's just because you're good, okay? Take it with a grain of salt and be happy.
It's a compliment.
It's a compliment. It's like when people hate watch the Nuggets, okay? Well, this year you can't hate watch and they're making it good for you. But
you're
the
enjoying
championship year, it was great, okay? So I promise it's respectful. You have an annoyingly good team somehow, even though everyone seems to get injured and it never seems to matter. So let's hope that the Broncos can get it done, though. I would love that.
Period.
But I
do think that they're going to get one of their first loss in the next 3 weeks against one of those 3 teams.
I don't see them because I know you have felt for a while that they were going to be the first team to win the Super Bowl 3 times. I don't see it happening against Lions.
I don't either. I know that I kept saying that, but I just feel like the Lions.
I want to see them play the Vikings or the Lions, but it's not happening.
Do they not have it at all this season?
Mm-mm.
I hate that.
They played the Lions in preseason and lost, but that doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah, it's preseason.
Anyway, Caitlin purchased a prize.
Because
she thought it would be funny to ask you all, the crowd, the class, to ask us questions. And we're going to have our friend answer them.
Look, I got
Before
a
we
Magic
go.
8-Ball. Yes, and so here's the thing. We're going to start doing this at the end of every NBA and NFL episode. So if you guys have any questions for the Magic 8-Ball, and obviously they have to be like yes or no answer or yes or no questions, I want you guys to ask me any of your sports questions. So for these ones, I'm going to do some NFL ones, and for the NBA ones, I'm obviously going to do NBA questions, and we're gonna see what Magic 8-Ball predicts for the rest of the season. And I love this game. So we are going to take your burning NFL questions and ask our Magic 8-Ball what it thinks, and we are gonna probably keep track of these. I don't know if you just want to like save them or something, and we're going to find out whenever they do happen or if they don't happen. But a couple of NFL questions that I have are so good.
We'll only talk about the ones that happen.
Exactly. Period. We don't want the Magic 8-Ball
to
be bad luck. I love this. Okay. The first one. Will the Cowboys be able to rush for over 100 yards or hold an opponent to less than 100 rushing yards?
What, this week?
Ever this season. So will they be able to run or stop the run at all this season? Outlook, not so good. The Magic 8-Ball's conspiring against you already. Okay, they haven't done it in the first 8 weeks.
Get a new one.
Okay, that one was funny. I'm so sorry. So Cowboys,
at least
they're
she's
not
honest.
expected. Let me just also tell you guys, don't be betting on these things, okay? Because you cannot sue my Magic 8-Ball, all right? Do you think Jerry Jones will remove himself as GM? Please be yes. Please be yes. Please. I think it's upside down. It is certain.
Thank God! Woo!
Jerry Jones, where's your resignation, babe?
I need it in the morning.
Put it on my table. Thank you.
It is certain.
I am so dead. All right, here's another good one. Will the Patriots fire Gerard Mayo after his first season? They better not. Concentrate and ask again. All right, let me think harder. Let me really concentrate. I don't know why I'm like starting to do it like a chant. Will the Patriots fire Gerard Mayo after
I think it's Jared.
Okay. I feel like
Did you call him Gerard? Is it
everyone
Gerard?
else calls him Gerard. Yes, all of like the
You know what that
the
reminds me of?
announcers.
Then it is Gerard. It reminds me of that one episode of what is it? Who are the funny guys? Not Impractical Jokers. Is it Key and Peele? Where he's like, oh, we have I'm like trying to think of an example. He'd be like,
I know.
Mikael.
Yes, I know
he's like,
exactly
my name is
who you're
Michael.
talking. Yes,
and then same
I know
thing.
exactly
He's
who you're
like,
talking about.
Gerard. He's like, it's Jared. He's like,
Yep.
okay, Gerard.
That's like my favorite. I love that. I love that
Skip.
episode. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes. Okay. Oh, hold on. I'm concentrating and asking again. Okay. Will the Patriots fire Gerard Mayo after one season? That was interesting. Outlook good. Uh-oh. He's a young coach. Give him a chance. He's a young
Outlook
coach
good,
with
not
a young
for Gerard Mayo.
No, outlook bad for Gerard Mayo.
Okay, I have one question before we go. For the
All right, I'm
8-Ball.
ready. Okay.
Will the Broncos beat the Chiefs?
I love this game. All right. Oh, please be yes. Most likely.
Ooh!
Period. I'm going to end there.
Mic drop. I have these all written down.
Drop.
So
I love
if any
that.
of these come true, we will bring this up in a future episode. And I'm going to try and I feel like I need to make like a jingle for this for next time. Like
I know, literally, it's so cute.
I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to figure it out.
We're gonna do it. But either way, if you guys want to ask the Magic 8 Ball any questions, like I said, we're gonna do it at the end of every NBA and NFL episode. Let us know your questions. They do have to be yes or no answers, or they have to have a yes or no answer. Obviously, this one does not have the name of NFL and NBA players, so it can't tell you those types of things.
So sorry.
Got to be specific yes or no questions. But we had so much fun with you guys today. Thank you for being here. We did obviously do this episode a little bit different as we didn't go through every game. We just wanted to go through the biggest stories and the biggest teams.
The most important things that are happening right now.
Exactly. But we are so happy you're here, and we are so happy to be here. If you have not already, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, love us, follow us on socials. We want to talk sports with you guys all the time.
All day,
so
every
fun.
day. We will see
and we also
you.
have merch.
I'm not wearing our merch. Caitlin is, though.
But look, I'm matching
The signs.
Yes. So we do have merch, and that's below too.
We love you so much. Share us with all your friends and your families and everybody. And if you have old middle school email accounts, sign into those and subscribe to us too. Just, yeah.
Period. Why not? YOLO, okay? Here's the thing. YOLO. You only live once.
I haven't heard that in so long.
I'm a child. I still say it. I'm really annoying.
I love it so much. Okay, well, Caitlin and I will have one more remote episode for you before we are back together, and we are so excited. So,
yeah.
For those of you that are new, because we've had a lot of new friends, you will get to hang out with us. We are potentially doing a live show Friday night after the Nuggets game, potentially. So that's why you need to follow us on socials so you can find out, because we will post it there.
Bye, friends. See you soon.
Adios. Bye. Hasta luego. Whatever that means.
Vista, motherfucker.
I forgot what hasta luego means. See you later? Sure. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Au revoir.